Peace and Black Power, family. Welcome to another Sarnetta TV House of Consciousness production. Black News 102, Sarnetta Studios. And as you can see, we got Herman up in the building. I want to say peace to my brother Herman Smalls. What's happening? What's going on with you, my brother?
Peace and Black Power. How you doing, Sarnetta?
I'm good, brother. What we want to cover is a few topics that's been going on. We know Dr. Umar is going through some trouble with the government. And we know, what's the sister name?
Sister Omarosa.
Omarosa. Which one you want to start with first?
Well, the most important is that obviously the situation with our good brother, Dr. Umar.
All right, let's talk about that.
Now, I'll start from the outset. All I'm going to do is offer an opinion. You know, I don't have no inside information. I'm going directly from what he has uploaded. He's publicly, it's so hard because who knows when false news is going to be a factor, man. I'm accepting that he has put this forward. Although I've seen it written, I see the pictures. You know, there are agencies that could be sophisticated enough to for short term, opinions can be shaped and moved in so many different directions. But anyway, I'll accept that he put that up. And if that's the case, man, that is so unfortunate. If this is really what this brother is dealing with, that they are, I believe this has to be the first step in trying to strip him of the credential he has worked so hard to get. And people don't realize that individuals with these credentials that become freedom fighters or fight for their people, we don't have to go back too far in time. Remember Alton Maddox? You know, he was disbarred for his activity related to Tawana Brawley. And many, the youngins right now, you 20-something, probably don't even, definitely have no first-hand account of that story, but do the research, Tawana Brawley, and what the people surrounded and tried to defend her, what issue was really at stake behind that case. And
don't forget, Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz almost got his taken away, but he fought hard for it because he was told not to deal with Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, not to bring him in. So, you know, he'd been working with Khalid Muhammad, going up against Giuliani. You know, Giuliani used to be a district attorney.
Right, exactly.
So he was banging on him, so don't forget that.
Before mayor.
Yes, that's right,
but
before the mayor.
It was a threat against his...
oh, yeah, he'll tell you. Oh, yeah, he'll tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it's
so yes, man. Our brother Umar, they are also talking about taking away, stripping him of his titles, his degrees that he got. I'm
just, you know, we need to do, and you've been fortunate enough that you've had some really sharp attorneys on this platform. I think you should make a call out to them. I mean, let's get folk with a legal background to help us decipher this, because I don't know what they can do, what they can't do. I just know as a layman, that sounds bizarre. You don't put 4, 8, some people 12 years in to achieve an academic accomplishment, and now somebody can call you in for a trial, and now you no longer it. I mean, you know, is that what's taking place? I know you can be disbarred, but I didn't know there was an equivalent related to a psychologist, but I guess a PhD is a PhD. And I guess is that the board certified that so many of them covet and speak of? And now is this the board that I just don't know. Which jurisdiction is this? Is this civil? Is this criminal? There's so much about this I have questions about. But I know from the surface of it, I think I can speak for the average layman and the average person that cares about their brother. It's like, what's going on? I don't like the way this sounds. And the thing that I'm hoping I'm not picking up what I think I am, it's like I almost hear almost a level of delight that I'm hearing that some black folks are having about this.
Yes.
That they are relishing in him, you know, having this kind of problem. And that part, man, it's just... And that's the second issue when we get to that. But the thing with Omarosa too, it's like, okay, great. Now the sis is worthy of a level of criticism, of course. But again, this is an extra level of nastiness that comes in, even with the way other sisters are treating her, you know. And again, maybe my biggest problem, man, is like I'm always trying to defend black people. And it's usually a little story that helps explain why. When I first heard about this sister, Omarosa, I think the bonding I had with her, stuck with me, and I think that put a little level of just protection over her. I first found out about her when she was married. Correction, wasn't even married yet. She was engaged to that brother, the actor, that was in Green Mile. You know, the big
Yes.
brother.
Yes.
Matter of fact, let me throw on a pair of overalls, and I can't walk out to 125. Like, yo, you know who you look like? Yeah, I know who I look like. If I don't get Isaac Hayes, I was getting that Green Mile stuff. But so that's how she came to mind. They were engaged to be married, man.
Wow.
And that brother had a massive heart attack.
Yes.
And died. So that's how she entered my consciousness, and I just felt for her. I mean, she's about to step into matrimony. That was black love. This sister, that brother, they was coming together. It was a beautiful thing. So yeah, so I never watched The Apprentice, and I hear she was kind of interesting on that. So people who got the history about why they built this hatred up for her, because I mean, it's like they want to take this sister's head off, and she's still my sister. And again, I know I'm not totally blind to some of the things that's gotten, and I know she was on some Trump is the best thing since sliced bread kick. So I did get that. But the extra level of hate, man, we can have an extra level of hate for ourselves that's not healthy, man.
So do you think our sisters were jealous of her because she's up there with powerful men? Unfortunately.
The sisters that I think of that was kind of snipping. I mean, these sisters had some pretty good journalistic chops. You know, I mean, whatever their personal lifestyle is, I don't know. But so no, I would give them the benefit of the doubt. That piece, how you doing? That it wasn't something so basic as jealousy. I think they really built up a level of animosity towards her. And the other part of the story I heard, the sister Angela Ray, I believe it was at one of the conventions. Maybe it was the Essence. I believe it was a format related to Essence. That, if stories be correct, Sister Ray was accosted by Omarosa in just a very kind of confrontational, really kind of negative way. And I think there was kind of bad blood from that point. So I think maybe a little deeper than just jealousy. I think these sisters just wasn't feeling each other based on, I don't know.
So do you think Donald Trump is dipping and dabbing into that chocolate?
Now, you know, I wouldn't even begin to go into anybody's personal life like that, man. So
Hey,
I don't know. You know, all I know is, but I think, come on now, let's keep it 100. The average person looking at her arrangement, her position in the office, there was a level of tokenism, and I think she's got to be intelligent enough to understand that too. That if she wasn't up there because of her, you know, stack of degrees she done accomplished or some special connection to the community. As a matter of fact, she was giving the community the stiff arm to a certain degree. You know, she was really trying to toe that line of Trump is this great guy, and to whatever degree she had success or not.
So what happened between her and Trump? What happened?
Again, I have no idea. I think if some of the stories be true, because again, they're feeding it that she was asserting herself based on one of the, I guess, inner circle. Like maybe she thought she was a little further in than she actually was, and she was trying to use access to the White House. From what they're saying, she wanted to have, I think, a bridal shower or some type of activity related to guests at the White House, and I think she thought it was approved, or it was told that it couldn't happen, and they're down to saying she went around that and still brought people there, and you know now they was let it leak out that she was physically removed from this added edge, you know, that the black woman has to get, that she has to be dragged out. She was forcibly removed. I mean, the language, and you know, and look at the language that they had for Michelle Obama. Let's not forget this media cuts our women a certain way all the time. I mean, horrendous stuff was being written and said about Michelle Obama.
I heard that she was a little upset because it was maybe 2% black people, and she wanted more black people in the White House. Okay. She wanted more black people of color. No, that's what she was saying.
And she stormed into Trump's office and said, I want people of color.
No, but that's what they were showing on the news. And she was talking about that. Oh, see, you ain't see it.
That story, so fill me in. What else you heard?
But that's what she was saying.
Okay.
You know, it's the majority of white people in here, and I want to see people that look like me.
Well, that
This
sounds
is
like-
what she was saying,
That
brother.
sounds like a convenient position to have right
This
about
is
now.
what she was saying.
When you outside of this spot. But who knows? And some of these stories can be planted, man. That's why I take it with a grain of salt as to what's the actual truth. But it does appear to be she's out, whether it was forcibly removed or walked out on her own volition or. But then the interesting thing, I think she's officially gone January 20th. So is she on vacation, or is she in and out of the White House now? How does that work? Or is that just the way it looks on paper, and that she is not going to physically be back to the White House for the remainder of her time? And the other thing I think, I believe I heard her saying is, you know, she's a saleswoman. She's been ear hustling, as our brother said. Our brother. 1804. My memory is not as good. Our good brother said you need to ear hustle whenever you're in the room. She's been ear hustler, so now she's hyping. Well, I have these things to say about the White House that I know many would like to hear. So I mean, she's trying to keep herself relative, and market herself.
So now let me ask you, being the spokesman for Sarnetta TV Awards. You stupid. Being the spokesman for the Sarnetta TV Awards, what is our next move? Remember, we was pushing for Dr. Umar to host. Now he's talking about going into retirement for a while. You know, and that right there is like a big blow. Not only that, they also cut off the GoFundMe. They stopped the GoFundMe. You know, so what is our next move? What do we do? Umar Johnson supposed to be going to court sometime next week. Do we all ride up there? Do we all go up there to show him some love and to show support? Because we got to show this European that he got some people behind him that love him. So what is the next move?
I mean, you know, if you ask me, you know, straight up, yeah, well, this is what it's going to boil down to. I'm going, hey, good evening. I'm going, you know, and anyone listening, this was going to, and this sometimes, oh man, I tell you something, that sometimes crises are a gift, man. As terrible as they can be, as much stress and as you're really trying to figure it out, but it can be a gift because it'll give you a perfect opportunity to let you see exactly who and what you got around you, what kind of team, what kind of resilience. Because I know, like you said, well, who should we roll up? I know if I'm the only one up in there, because that brother had put in too much work for me to not show up. You know, and it's like, what, Philly, 2 hours? Yeah, I'm going to find out the time. 4 hours, whatever, 5. If I had to fly, you know, and because the brother went in like that. You know, he went in. He dropped stuff related to our offspring, especially our boys. Like, he bought it like Dr. Amos Wilson. He bought it. You got to give him that.
Of course,
you know,
I agree.
But so many want to, you know, and yes, CEO. Like Muhammad Ali, I'm the greatest. And I keep telling I had no problem with that, man. Look at Huey P. Look at our leaders, man, to get up out of the muck and mire. You know, they are going to be that alpha male, extremely confident, you know, self-assured. And it's going to be a lot for others who aren't, you know, out there like that to kind of deal with. But, you know, I had no problem with it. You know, let's not forsake this brother in his time. It should be a packed courthouse. We should be standing with him. We should let them know on no uncertain terms. You move on him, you move on us. You're not going to snatch any more of our great minds, our great men. Like Bob Marley said, while we sit around and look. No, that can't happen anymore. So there should be a call out, and hopefully on some other platforms they're making that clear too. The court system is just another arm, another tentacle of this white supremacist structure, but it can be bought to heal at times. You know, they test the waters too now. You know, just like with the Rodney King verdict. You know, that caught them for left field. They do not go into this lightly any further. They want to know where the strength and the resilience of the people are. And as a matter of fact, I think there's had to have been a lull in our assessment for them to even move on it. They could have did this 6 months ago. How much more evidence they have now that they didn't have, or a year ago? This thing has been up in the air for a while. Why are they moving now? Maybe it was critical mass. Maybe all the stuff, like he's saying, maybe all the stuff people moving on.
Or maybe they think they got enough evidence to get him. See, this is how they move. They don't just move right away when they get you. They let you go ahead and have a little space. Meanwhile, they watching you. They got agents amongst you. See, we forget about that. And we play games with the agents so much that when a real one comes along, we don't even consider him or consider her to be an agent. You see? So believe me, man, they've been watching this brother maybe for a year or 2 years. And the sad thing about it, my brother, is that it's people that look like me and you that was dropping dimes, that was telling, that was snitching, that was doing all kind of stuff trying to get this brother locked down, locked up, and taken away from our community. Because like you said, he is a very powerful asset to young black boys, young black males in our community. He's talking about the homosexuality. He's talking about the riddling in school and what they doing to your children. He's a threat, brother. So the white man always tries to turn your people who you look up to as the villain, as the bad guy. They did it with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Remember that. They did it with the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. So, brother, their tactics has never stopped. The thing is, when are we going to stop selling our people out, selling our people down the river? That's the sad thing.
I agree. I wonder if, and all of this is speculation, and none of us will ever know, but I watch how people move. And there are, just my opinion, I don't know, there's some people I think are more susceptible, to agent type infiltration. Those folks who have all these hanger-ons and all these people that they're constantly around. I didn't see Dr. Umar move like that. He had a small, tight circle. I saw the same faces. I saw some really loyal folks around him. I would see it as an agent thing. What I think, it's a lot of the stuff, the same stuff that's been bantered around publicly. I think if you make enough noise, an agency has to begin to dig. Now, just because you dig, that doesn't mean you found anything. When I say why now and why not a year from now, his MO, his modus operandi has not changed. He's a lecturer. He's the author, but he hasn't changed a single word. I'm raising money from a school. So he was saying that a year ago. So unless he invested some money in a way that they finally got evidence or something, that kind of whatever. But if what they're saying is they're just finally going to look into these false rumors that's been spread, or this suspicion that people just continue to try to draw him into, they could have did that a year ago. There's a reason they're doing it now. There's a specific reason that is happening now, and we as a people have to be just as aware and interested in that as we are in just automatically accepting their version. Just because they cast suspicion on a brother or sister, we cannot be the first ones to abandon or to join forces in casting a cloud or a shadow as well. How you doing? Okay.
But see, Dr. Umar Johnson himself, can you find his post? Can you read it? Because I was trying to look for it.
Yeah, I'm not that technical and savvy.
You need to read it because he himself was saying that it was people that look like us.
Yeah. Well, I think I saved myself from some embarrassment.
Doing all kind of stuff,
I left my phone upstairs. So if you got yours,
I got mine, but I don't know where it's at. Where's it at?
I saw his own posting. Go to Umar Johnson, his own
Instagram.
Site. It's on. I don't even have an Instagram, so I saw it on Facebook.
Okay.
I saw it on Facebook, and it was straight and it was to the point. And if those words are his, he expressed a level of
not those his words, because he would have came out and denounced it
by now. I guess because he would say, hey, to paraphrase, why did I even start this? Why did I put myself out there like this, only to have angry, vindictive, jealous, I forgot the term he used, black people?
Well, it looked like he's live right now on Facebook.
Really? So maybe he's clearing up a lot of this stuff. Okay, so how does that work? We can't tap into that. The technology doesn't exist.
Cut it right on.
Okay, maybe.
They showing the old tape. That's what they do.
Okay. But and I don't know how soon you're going to put this up. But the good doctor, our brother Umar, if you're listening to this, please address the public. Let us hear from you directly. Okay, if these are your words, you were very clear and eloquent in your expression of frustration. And I think I interpret a call to battle. I'm hoping that was also a call for the brothers and sisters that do still believe in you and still support you, that you want us to see us at your side. And so if that is the request, and I'm hoping it is, even be more direct with it, be clear. And this would be a time to separate the wheat from the chaff. Who's the folk who really rolling with you and who's not.
That's right.
Because if you from the New York cipher, and you can get to Philly, this is enough time. We know what the date is, so we can be in the building. So put it in. We get buses for all this other stuff, right? We get buses for marches. Let's try to organize some buses to go and roll and check out our brother. Now, also, again, Sonetta, reach out to these legal people. I don't even know if this is open to the public. Some of these hearings are closed hearings. So before we even put the call out, let's do some research so we'll even know if there is going to be a courtroom or courthouse for us to go into. You had this sister on here that was an attorney. I forgot her name, but I'm sure they can really shed some light on this. And I'm gonna say something else on record, son, that we have to get in front of these cameras. December 12th, Omar Wally Clay. Somebody give us a breakdown on Zimbabwe. That brother knows Zimbabwe inside and out. And we haven't had him before these cameras yet. So, and I know you got a full plate. You probably got 50 hours of stuff you haven't edited from so much stuff. But some of these things are timely, man. If we can, as a news channel, we can really get these stories out, I think it would help keep our people aware and conscious of our global situation, not just what's happening locally. Yeah. Well, that's going to happen. But when they were attacking him, see, the thing is, I listened too. And his answer always made sense to me. He said, the money is right. You can see where the money is. He said, I don't take any of that money out. He said, I come out my own pocket for my travel. I don't even use expenses out of that. All of that stuff can be verified. He's on record with saying, I'm not doing anything with that money. It's right there. So okay, great. Okay, where's the school? Okay, there's not a school, but there's no evidence of him, living large, got a Bentley and 14-room villa out somewhere. No, yes, he does. He has accumulated it, but I have not seen, or no one has accused him of misappropriating it. I don't think. I just think they say he's gotten it and the school ain't open, which is a fact. So do we throw him away and totally? We just got to come up with a better way of dealing with our lack of clarity about a leader's vision, because the brother had a vision. Maybe it's not on time or it's not on schedule, but that alone is not reason enough, I think, for us to have the level of contention and anger. Hey, good evening. Hey, have a good night. Okay, so that's my opinion. They just go at him so hard, and with the sister Omarosa again, she, they just coming at her. It's something else to it, man. It's something else. So for that, I'll try to defend her as a black woman. Our businesses, our ventures, our schools, our designers. If it's ours, we can be kind of heavy-handed with the criticism. But I was saying, you was on the phone, I don't compare us against anybody, Europeans or anybody else. So it is a trait. Now some can tap it back to the Willie Lynch, the young, the old, the light, the dark, the house Negro, the field Negro, or is it just that old stoking that we can snap at each other? Look at our homicide rates. I mean, look how quickly we go to that level of wanting to eliminate each other's life. So, I mean, look at our abortion rates. I mean, there's things that speak into our numbers, that there's a level of self-hate that we are working through, and we are in some instances not getting closer to getting healed. And that manifests itself in how, I hear like people got a sing-song little tone to their voice as they talking about. They just delight in this brother's possible demise. And that is a little bit hard. They're delighting in Omarosa's embarrassment. She earned a lot of it, but she's still our sister. When did they stop being our sister? I mean, look at our Williams sisters. I done read enough bed wench, this wench, that wench. I mean, okay, I'm not pleased with the conduct, but they still our daughters. They're still our sisters. Why do we disown each other so quickly and not make a road back? Because recently I just attended a really nice ceremony, Men of Excellence. That was really great to see other brothers that were being elevated by the community because of their work, their contributions. It's healing of the psyche. It's the healing and inspiring of a people. Yeah, good evening. Of a people. So for the psyche of a people, awards are important. you acknowledge excellence, and that stimulates and inspires folks towards excellence. So that, I think, is the main reason why an award show. I gave some other suggestions. Can I give my suggestions on the air without them being cut? And so, Netta, you know, I've been very direct with you in speaking the suspicion people have and how they get caught up and distracted by that, and many instances are not willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. They don't know your heart. They don't know what's lurking. They can say, okay, well, he does this for money, he does that for money, this could be for money. Or they can say, hey, this brother has seen a lot, and he knows the benefit of having an individual sister or an individual brother lifted and put on the right path. Look how many people indirectly that have got on paths that just took their lives in places that they are very pleased with, directly related to their association with you. So, I think that in itself should be enough reason for us to, one, give you the benefit of the doubt, but if you put in some of the suggestions that I said, maybe 10% of the proceeds going to an elder fund, so the have, you know, deified, and we've learned so much from them, and we, you know, Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, Dr. Francis Scott Wilson, we just lost a great elder, Dr. Felder, so these elders are transitioning, and if in some instances they have a foundation or their estate, you know, some donation that the public could see and also be a part of contributing towards by going to the awards. And lastly, the judging. Who's going to be the judge? Have you announced the judges? What's the criteria? Because if it's just a situation where you're rewarding, you know, a crony system, oh, okay, this is my man, that's my man, this is my sister over here, and all the other folks that are legitimately competing against them really don't even have a shot, then that's just politics. And I think that would discredit us collectively, even discredit an award system that doesn't have a clear way of showing this is why this person got this award right now. This one can may next year or the year after, but these are the things we looked at. And if you can have that fair, your awards would be one of the more premier award shows that we have had.